Have you ever found yourself wondering how many more years you might have after turning 70? But here's an even more important question. How do you make sure those years are full of health, energy, and joy? Because let's be honest, getting older isn't just about adding more candles to the cake. It's about making the most of every single day we're blessed with. You see, your daily habits, your mindset, even the smallest choices you make right now can have a huge impact on how long and how well you live. But here's the good news. It's never too late. Science has uncovered 9 simple yet powerful signs that can give you a glimpse into your future health. And today, I'm going to walk you through each of them. You'll learn how little things, like the speed you walk, the strength of your handshake, or how connected you feel to others, could be telling you more about your longevity than you ever imagined. But this isn't just about predicting the future. It's about taking control of it. So if you're ready to not just add years to your life, but life to your years, stick with me. The best is yet to come. 1. Your walking speed. Let me ask you something. Have you ever paid attention to how fast you walk? It might seem like just a small detail, right? But did you know your walking speed could actually be a powerful clue about your health and even how long you might live? Researchers from the University of Pittsburgh studied over 34,000 older adults, and what they found was pretty eye-opening. People who walked faster tended to live longer, even when they were followed for over a decade. Now, I'm not saying you need to sprint to the grocery store tomorrow, but let me paint a picture for you. Imagine 2 friends, Margaret and Diane. Both are 70, both retired, and both enjoying their golden years. But here's the difference. Margaret takes a daily stroll through her neighborhood park, breathing in the fresh air and keeping her body moving. Diane, on the other hand, prefers to spend her afternoons lounging on the couch, watching TV. At first glance, you might think they're just enjoying life in different ways. But over time, Margaret's simple habit of walking keeps her heart strong, her muscles active, and her mind sharp. Meanwhile, Diane's slower, sedentary lifestyle could be quietly leading to physical decline. And here's the thing, it's not too late to make a change. If you find yourself walking a bit slower these days, that's okay. Start small. Maybe take a walk around your house or down the driveway. Gradually work your way up to strolling around the block. You'll be surprised at how quickly those small steps add up. Remember, every time you take a walk, it's like giving your body a little health checkup. The speed at which you walk can reflect your vitality, but it doesn't have to stay that way. You have the power to improve it step by step. So what do you say? Ready to lace up those walking shoes and start moving toward a healthier, longer life? 2. Your grip strength. Now here's something that might surprise you. Did you know that the strength of your handshake could actually tell you something about your health? It sounds simple, right? But grip strength isn't just about how firmly you can hold on to something. It's a surprisingly powerful indicator of your muscle health and even your heart condition. In fact, there was a study published in The Lancet, one of the world's leading medical journals, that found grip strength could actually predict life expectancy more accurately than blood pressure. That really caught my attention. I remember the first time I tested my own grip strength. I used this little gadget called a hand dynamometer. You squeeze it as hard as you can to measure how strong your grip is. And let me tell you, I was shocked by how much effort it took. That simple squeeze made me realize how important it is to keep our muscles strong as we age. But here's the good news. You don't need to hit the gym or lift heavy weights to improve your grip strength. Let me introduce you to Frank. Frank is 72, and he used to think that his weakening grip was just a normal part of getting older. But after learning how important grip strength is for overall health, he decided to make a few small changes. He started using resistance bands at home, doing simple exercise to strengthen his wrists and hands. He even got into the habit of squeezing a stress ball while watching his favorite TV shows. And guess what? Within a few months, Frank noticed not only was his grip getting stronger, but his overall energy levels improved too. It's amazing how focusing on something as small as your grip can lead to big improvements in your health. So, next time you shake someone's hand, or even just open a jar of pickles, take a moment to think, how strong is my grip? And if you feel like there's room for improvement, start small. A few minutes a day can make all the difference. It's a simple habit with a powerful payoff. 3. Your social connections. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you shared a good laugh with a friend or had a heartfelt conversation with a loved one? It might feel like just another part of daily life, but your social connections actually play a huge role in how long and how well you live. There's a fascinating study from Brigham Young University that found something truly surprising. Social isolation, that feeling of being disconnected from others, can increase the risk of premature death by as much as 50%. That's the same health risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first heard that, it really made me pause and think about the relationships in my life. Let me tell you about George. George is 75, retired, and lives alone in a small town. After his wife passed away, he started to pull back from his friends and family, thinking he'd just get by on his own. But over time, he noticed he felt more tired, less motivated, and even his health started to slip. Then one day, his daughter convinced him to join a local community gardening group. At first, George was hesitant. "I'm too old to make new friends," he'd say. But after just a few weeks of digging in the dirt, sharing stories, and laughing with others, he felt like a new man. His energy came back, his mood lifted, and he even started sleeping better at night. The truth is, we're wired for connection. Whether it's family, friends, or even meeting new people through hobbies or volunteering, those social bonds can do wonders for your health. And don't worry, you don't need a big group of friends or constant social events to stay connected. Sometimes it's as simple as calling a loved one, sending a quick message, or even just chatting with your neighbor over the fence. If you've been feeling a little isolated, I encourage you to take that first step. Reach out to someone you care about, or consider joining a local club or group that sparks your interest. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about living longer, it's about living better, surrounded by people who lift you up and bring joy to your life. So who's that one person you haven't talked to in a while? Maybe today's the perfect day to give them a call. 4. Your sleep quality. Now, let me ask you, how did you sleep last night? Did you wake up feeling refreshed? Or are you still feeling a little groggy this morning? We all know sleep is important, but what many people don't realize is that the quality of your sleep can have a bigger impact on your health and even your life expectancy than you might think. I used to believe that as long as I got enough hours of sleep, I'd be fine. But over time, I realized that it wasn't just about the number of hours. It was about how restful those hours actually were. Research from the National Sleep Foundation shows that people who consistently get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night are less likely to face serious health issues like heart disease, diabetes, and even obesity. But here's the kicker: getting too much sleep can be just as harmful as getting too little. Let me tell you about Susan. She's 74 and always thought staying up late to watch her favorite TV shows wasn't a big deal. She'd make up for it by sleeping in the next morning. But no matter how many hours she slept, she still felt tired and drained during the day. One day, Susan decided to make a few small changes. She started by cutting out caffeine after lunchtime, a tough one for her because she loved her afternoon coffee. But that small shift made a big difference. Then she created a simple bedtime routine: turning off screens an hour before bed, reading a good book, and doing a little light stretching. Within weeks, Susan found herself falling asleep faster, waking up feeling refreshed, and having more energy throughout the day. Here's the thing. Your body loves routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps regulate your internal clock and makes it easier to get that deep, restful sleep your body needs. And if you're struggling with things like insomnia or waking up in the middle of the night, don't ignore it. Conditions like sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome are more common than you think, and they can have a serious impact on your health. If you suspect something's off, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor or a sleep specialist. There are solutions out there. So tonight, why not try winding down a little earlier? Maybe swap that late night TV for a relaxing book or a little quiet time. Your body and your future self will thank you. Because better sleep doesn't just mean better mornings. It means a healthier, longer life. 5. Your waistline. All right, here's something that might surprise you. Did you know that your waistline can actually tell you more about your health than the number on the scale? For years, I thought that as long as I was keeping my weight in check, I was doing okay. But it turns out, it's not just about how much you weigh, it's about where you carry that weight. Research from the Mayo Clinic has shown that having a larger waistline, especially carrying extra weight around your belly, can increase your risk of serious health problems like heart disease, diabetes, and even stroke. For men, a waist measurement over 40 inches, and for women over 35 inches, can signal a higher risk. Let me tell you about Tom. Tom is 71, and for most of his life, he wasn't too worried about his health. He figured he wasn't overweight, so he didn't have much to worry about. But during a routine checkup, his doctor measured his waist and gave him a bit of a wake-up call. Even though Tom's weight was in a healthy range, his waistline told a different story. It was creeping up past that 40-inch mark. Tom realized it was time for a change, but he didn't go on some extreme diet or start hitting the gym for hours. Instead, he made small, sustainable changes. He started by cutting back on sugary snacks, swapping out his afternoon cookies for a handful of almonds. He also added more fiber-rich foods, like fruits, veggies, and whole grains, into his meals. And instead of sitting down right after dinner, he'd take a short 10-minute walk around the neighborhood. Over time, Tom's waistline started to shrink, and more importantly, he felt better, more energy, less joint pain, and even better sleep. And that's the thing. It's not about fitting into an old pair of jeans or hitting some magic number on the scale. It's about feeling good, staying healthy, and reducing your risk for serious conditions down the line. If you're looking to make a change, start small. Maybe it's swapping soda for water or adding an extra serving of veggies to your plate. Every little step counts. Remember, your waistline is a simple but powerful tool for understanding your health. And the best part, you have the power to make positive changes, one small step at a time. Because in the end, it's not just about adding years to your life. It's about making sure those years are vibrant and full of energy. 6. Your mental health. Now, when we think about living a long, healthy life, we often focus on things like diet and exercise, but there's something just as important, if not more, that often gets overlooked: your mental health. It wasn't until I came across a long-term study from Harvard that I truly understood how much our mindset can affect how long we live. This study followed people for over 80 years. Yes, 80 years. And found that those who maintained a positive outlook on life not only lived longer, but were healthier overall. On the flip side, chronic stress, anxiety, and depression significantly increased the risk of premature health problems. Let me share a story about Helen. Helen is 76, and after retiring, she found herself struggling with loneliness and a sense of purposelessness. Her days felt long and empty, and she noticed that she was feeling more tired and even getting sick more often. She thought it was just part of getting older, but it wasn't. One day, Helen's granddaughter introduced her to mindfulness meditation. At first, Helen was skeptical. How could sitting quietly and focusing on my breath help? She wondered. But she gave it a try. Just 5 minutes a day, nothing fancy, just sitting in a quiet spot, breathing deeply, and letting her thoughts settle. Over time, something amazing happened. Helen felt calmer, more grounded. She started keeping a journal, writing down the things she was grateful for each day, no matter how small. She also joined a local book club, reconnecting with old friends and making new ones. Little by little, her mood lifted, and her health followed. She wasn't just living longer, she was living better. Here's the truth. Mental health and physical health are deeply connected. Stress doesn't just make you feel overwhelmed. It can weaken your immune system, raise your blood pressure, and even increase your risk of heart disease. So what can you do to take better care of your mental health? Start small. Try mindfulness or meditation, even for just a few minutes a day. Keep a gratitude journal to remind yourself of the good things in life. Don't be afraid to reach out for support, whether it's talking to a friend, a family member, or even a therapist. And most importantly, remember this. It's okay to not have everything figured out. Life comes with its ups and downs, but how we care for our minds can make all the difference in how we experience those moments. Because a healthy mind isn't just about feeling good. It's a key part of living a longer, happier life. 7. Your flexibility and balance. All right, here's a fun little challenge for you. Can you stand on one foot for 10 seconds without wobbling? Go ahead, give it a try. I'll wait. Surprised by how easy, or maybe how tricky that was? Well, your balance and flexibility aren't just about avoiding the occasional stumble. They're actually powerful indicators of your overall health and longevity. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that older adults who could balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds had a significantly lower risk of premature death. It sounds simple, but it's true. Your ability to maintain balance is closely tied to your muscle strength, coordination, and even brain health. Let me introduce you to Evelyn. Evelyn is 73, and for most of her life, she never gave much thought to her balance. But after a little scare, a slip in the kitchen that luckily didn't lead to any serious injuries, she realized it was time to make a change. Evelyn started small. Every morning while brushing her teeth, she'd practice standing on one foot. At first, it was tough. She felt wobbly and unsure, but after a few weeks, she noticed a real difference. Not only was her balance improving, but she felt more confident walking up and down stairs, and even noticed her posture was better. She also started doing some simple stretching routines and added a few yoga classes at the local community center. She wasn't aiming to become a yoga master, just to stay flexible enough to move comfortably through her day. And the best part? She found that these small movements not only helped her physically, but also gave her a sense of relaxation and calm. Here's the good news. You don't need to be a fitness guru to improve your balance and flexibility. Start with simple exercises like standing on one foot for a few seconds each day. Try gentle activities like Tai Chi or yoga. Both are fantastic for improving balance, and they're easy to adapt to any fitness level. Even just stretching for a few minutes in the morning or before bed can make a big difference in how your body feels. And remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every small step you take helps reduce your risk of falls and keeps you feeling strong, confident, and independent. So why not make balance a part of your daily routine? Because staying steady on your feet today means a healthier, more active tomorrow. 8. Your diet. Now, let's talk about something we all love: food. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat." And when it comes to living a long, healthy life, this couldn't be more true. The choices you make in the kitchen can have a huge impact on how you feel today and how healthy you'll be in the years to come. One of the best examples of this is the Mediterranean diet. People in countries like Italy and Greece have some of the longest lifespans in the world, and a lot of that comes down to what's on their plates. Their diet is packed with fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, and healthy fats like olive oil and nuts. And guess what? A study published in the British Medical Journal found that following a Mediterranean-style diet can actually reduce your risk of death by up to 25%. That's pretty incredible, right? Let me tell you about Walter. Walter is 78, and for most of his life, he was a big fan of fried foods, sugary snacks, and lots of red meat. He thought, hey, I've made it this far. Why change now? But after a checkup revealed some heart issues, his doctor suggested making a few tweaks to his diet. Walter didn't go on some extreme restrictive meal plan. Instead, he made small, simple changes that made a big difference. He started by swapping out butter for olive oil, adding more colorful veggies to his meals, and cutting back on processed foods. He even discovered he loved grilled salmon and started snacking on almonds instead of chips. Within months, Walter noticed he had more energy, his cholesterol levels improved, and he even dropped a few pounds without feeling like he was missing out on the foods he loved. Here's the thing, eating healthy doesn't have to be complicated or boring. You don't need to give up all your favorite foods, and you definitely don't need to follow a fad diet. It's all about balance and making choices that nourish your body. So here are a few easy ways to get started. Add more fruits and vegetables to your meals. Aim for a colorful plate. Swap red meat for fish like salmon or mackerel a couple of times a week. Use olive oil instead of butter for cooking. Snack on nuts and whole grains instead of processed snacks. And don't forget to drink plenty of water. Staying hydrated is key. The goal isn't perfection. It's about making small, consistent choices that support your health over time. Because what's on your plate today can help ensure you're around to enjoy many more meals with the people you love in the future. So what's one simple change you can make to your diet this week? I'd love to hear it. 9. Your purpose in life. Now we've talked about walking, eating, sleeping, and even balancing on one foot. But there's one more thing that might just be the most important factor when it comes to living a long, fulfilling life: having a sense of purpose. You see, it's not just about what you do, it's about why you do it. Research from the world's famous blue zones, places like Okinawa, Japan, and Sardinia, Italy, where people often live well into their 90s and even 100s, shows that having a clear reason to get up in the morning is one of the biggest keys to longevity. In Japan, they even have a word for it, ikigai, which means a reason for being. Let me tell you about Arthur. Arthur is 80 years old, and after he retired, he struggled to find his footing. The days felt long, and without his job to keep him busy, he started to feel a little lost. But one day, his neighbor invited him to help out at a local community garden. At first, Arthur thought, what difference will this make? But as he started spending time in the garden, planting, nurturing, watching things grow, something shifted. It wasn't just about the vegetables. It was the connection with others, the routine of caring for something, and the simple joy of being part of something bigger than himself. That little garden became his new purpose, and it brought a sense of fulfillment and energy he hadn't felt in years. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't need to have some grand mission to find purpose. It can be as simple as spending time with your grandkids, volunteering in your community, or diving into a hobby you love. Maybe it's painting, writing, or even just tending to your plants or walking your dog every morning. Having a purpose gives you something to look forward to. It keeps your mind engaged, your heart full, and your body moving. So if you've been feeling like you're drifting a bit, ask yourself, what brings me joy? What am I passionate about? How can I contribute to my family, my friends, or my community in a way that feels meaningful. And remember, your purpose doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It's personal, unique, and it can change over time. But one thing's for sure. When you have something that lights you up inside, it makes every day feel more vibrant, more meaningful, and yes, even longer. So what's your Ikigai? What's that one thing that gives your life meaning and makes you excited to wake up in the morning? Whatever it is, hold on to it. Because living with purpose isn't just good for the soul, it's one of the best things you can do for your health. Wrapping it all up. So there you have it, 9 powerful signs that give you insight into not just how long you might live, but how well you can live after 70. We've talked about everything from your walking speed and grip strength, to your mental health, diet, and even your sense of purpose. But here's the most important thing to remember. None of these signs are set in stone. You have the power to shape your future, starting today. It's not about making huge, drastic changes overnight. It's about taking small, consistent steps. Whether it's adding a few more minutes to your daily walk, reconnecting with an old friend, or finding that spark of purpose that gets you excited to start each day. Because longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. It's about waking up every morning feeling energized, connected, and fulfilled. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 9 signs resonated with you the most? Maybe you're inspired to focus on your sleep, start a new hobby, or pay more attention to your social connections. Whatever it is, drop a comment below and share your thoughts. I read every single one, and I love hearing how these tips make a difference in your life. And if this video inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to me and helps us continue bringing you helpful, inspiring content to live your best life. Remember, it's never too late to make a positive change. The best years of your life might still be ahead of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.